Hello everybody and welcome to Parksbros. It's Drew here. I guess I should say Parks Booze. We're here at SeaWorld San Diego's Howl-O-Scream. It's their second weekend. I'm very excited to check it out. So let's go see what's going on. And it looked like they moved the Toys and Dolls scare zone back towards Journey to Atlantis and near Emperor. So now you have to go through all the toys first. Now, if you were curious, we are heading back towards Emperor right now, as you can barely see it in the fog. I'm sure riding it right now would be really cool. There are two mazes back here, Alien Outbreak and Dead Water Bayou, I think is what the name is. Loved those mazes last year, so maybe we'll hit them up. We'll see. It's kind of busy tonight. It is a Saturday on the second weekend, but a little busier than I was expecting. They've really added a lot this year. I love the new Scarecrow scare zone over here, and it looks like Emperor, currently a 45-minute wait on one train. So a couple things I want to mention so far. After being able to get one ride on Emperor, I don't think we're going to be able to do too much tonight, sadly, but there is so much fog. Like, probably the most amount of fog I've seen at a haunt so far. Kind of crazy, adds to that ambiance a lot for sure. And another thing, only maybe 2 to 3 scare actors per scare zone so far. So hopefully as we go through more of them throughout the night, we'll see some more, because I would love to see more and more interactions happening and a lot more scares too. And when I say foggy, I mean it. Like, can you see more than 15 feet? It's pretty impressive, I gotta say. Props to SeaWorld for the new props. Good fun there. And the massive amounts of new fog and the new scare zones too. As we made our way over to Wild Arctic, you can see they have these tester seats available now. So if you want to make sure you fit comfy and snug, you can check that out now. So just behind me, they just did this cool dance show. Didn't really get to film any of it, sadly, but Pirates has their own scare zone back here now, which I think it's great how they've moved them around. And you know, adding that siren theme, as you can see some of the props behind me, into this area makes a lot of sense, and having dancing pirates and screaming sirens, I think it's cool over here. Don't get me wrong, I think the setup for last year was probably a little more creepy, but I think this is a good change. With only 2 hours left in the event, we're gonna hopefully do our first maze pretty soon, Circus of the Damned 3D. So this is a returning maze, but they plussed it with 3D and a bunch of black light effects. It should be interesting. I'm very excited. This is technically the one new maze of the year. All right, so just did Circus of the Damned 3D. No 3D. We did not get glasses, but we did get to go into the speakeasy. Had a Ringmasters. It was pretty good. Strawberry heavy. Also, a lot of tequila in that, so that was pretty good. But I will say the maze itself, not really improved on last year, especially without the glasses being used. So hopefully they can do some more in there soon, but I will say the sets are just lackluster, and there are definitely spaces where there's just giant empty rooms of nothing. So hopefully they can change that in the future. I know there are definitely better mazes here, but I was hoping for maybe more changes in this maze, especially with the 3D re-theme. All right, we just rode Electric Eel. Really running great tonight. I will say we've only got about 45 minutes left till the park closes. Kind of a bummer, actually. Especially since it's been so busy tonight. I'm here with some people who have never been to SeaWorld before, so they're actually checking out all the rides as well. That's why we're focusing on that instead of just mazes. Also, the rides have seemed to have a shorter wait overall too, but it's a bummer they close at midnight on a Saturday, because we don't really get to experience too much, especially when we've only done one maze so far. Made our way back towards Emperor to check out Deathwater Bayou, which hopefully will be our second maze of the night. Again, we've only got 45 minutes, so it's going to depend on how long this line is to see if we'll be able to do more than just this in the future. Well, looks like we lucked out. We're going to go straight in. All right, maybe I stand corrected. By 11:30, it seems like everybody's left the park, because we've just done Deathwater Bayou in like 2 minutes. And that was even better than I remember. Some really good scares. Obviously, we were, the target for everything, but man, oh man, so many great sets in there. Oh my goodness. So we literally just went through both of those mazes within 5 minutes, I think. And they were both phenomenal compared to last year even. And I really enjoyed those mazes last year. I think Deathwater Bayou was my favorite, if I remember correctly. and they plussed them like crazy. I'm sad I didn't film, but I wanted to experience it, you know, as best I could. I'll put in some footage from last year. They added so many props, especially to Area 64. Like there was tons of stuff to look at, tons of new aliens, animatronics. They really have plussed this event in the best way possible. The only downside, it seems, is maybe some staffing in scare zones right now, and that front circus maze, which hopefully they can plus that just as much as they did with Deathwater Bayou and Alien Outbreak, because those were both insanely good. So we were successful in getting a ride on Wild Arctic at the very last second. It is currently midnight right now, and I have a lot to say about that ride now. Just thought about getting some merch real quick. That's why I kind of ducked into the Wild Arctic store. But man, oh man, you can see the fog is completely dissipated. The people have left the park. The park is now officially closed for Howl-O-Scream. Oh, okay. I think that's maybe an announcement right there. Yeah, Simon from Simon's Slaughterhouse just came on and said, Simon says the park is closed. Gotta say, kind of impressed with this event this year yet again. But at the same time, I think there's always room for improvement, especially for a haunt that's only been around for 3 years. So I do want to say, before we move on to my thoughts on Howl-O-Scream, Arctic Rescue does have speakers on the track now, and a lot of lighting effects. There's new facades. It's looking really, really good. They're adding more and more theming as we're going on, and the ride, hopefully in the next couple of years, especially with all the trees growing in, will look absolutely stellar. All right, now let's talk Howl-O-Scream 2023. I gotta say, I absolutely adore the scare zones, and especially how much freedom the scare actors have in those scare zones. They can say pretty much anything in character, and it's awesome. Shout out to, of course, the Dolls scare zone. That's still my favorite for sure. I mean, you have some really iconic characters in there now, and not only just Cassie, right, but you have a teddy bear that has squeaky hands or squeaky feet, I don't know which, but we were cheering them on all night long, and every time, just a little, huh? It was just the best thing ever. But besides that, I will say, some of the mazes, great improvement from last year, and I really enjoyed, especially Alien Outbreak compared to last year. Circus of the Damned 3D, we didn't get the glasses, sadly, and it seemed pretty similar to last year, not really any changes there. It's still fun to go through. We had 1 or 2 good scares in there that we just were not expecting whatsoever, but there is definitely empty space, and a lot of it. It was nice to go in the speakeasy in there too. We almost did it for Alien Outbreak, but we ended up walking through. But it's because we were the only people in the maze anyway, so we were just getting targeted again and again and again, and getting some really good scares in there. The animatronic editions were great. Deathwater Bayou, all the interactions we had in there. Shout out to the voodoo doll. It's a really, really good starting event. I mean, it's still in its youth. It's only been around for 3 years now, and the improvement they make year after year is leaps and bounds. It's going to be a very, very good event in about another 3 or 4 years time, and literally rival some of the giants if they keep putting the same amount of effort and money into this event. And I think they should, especially with how busy it was until about the last 45 minutes of the night. But I think this event is definitely worth your time, especially if you're a pass member. You do get a discount, and in some cases, as a platinum pass holder like myself, you do get a free ticket. So I was able to use that tonight, which was great. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on Howl-O-Scream? Have you been yet? If you haven't, make sure to do so. It's pretty fun if you like haunt events and you're in the San Diego area. But thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you on the next ride.